FretGuitar.com. I'm here at Summer NAMM at the Don't Fret booth with Jack Dudley. Hi Jack, how are you today?
I'm doing just great.
Your booth's been pretty popular this NAMM. You're making some ruckus over here. You have a special friend with you here. Tell me a little bit about Andrew.
Andrew is an Australian lapslide virtuoso, and I found him on the net, and we just started a relationship. I send him prototypes, and this latest thing that we did is actually via Skype creation that we did over the internet that we co-designed.
Was that hard?
No, it really wasn't. He had a dream guitar. He always has to take multiple guitars to gigs. And we began talking, and 3 months later or so, this is what we came up with.
And so you're calling it the Lucky 13. It's the only one like it, right?
Yeah, actually all my instruments, everything I build is one of a kind, not another one in the world.
Right, so you live in Alabama, right?
Yes, I do.
And you basically source your materials. You make a resonator that's built out of cypress trees. What else do you use for your wood?
Primarily mahogany, sapel, just whatever I feel like using at the time that meets my criteria.
And how did you get started making your instruments?
Well, I'm a fretless bass player by trade, and I could never find a good fretless bass on the market, so I began building my own basses. It's got a double neck. He wanted a 6-string and a 7-string, which has just a huge 145 gauge bass string on it. We ending up with an angled fingerboard or angled neck on the.
And they're actually different heights as well, right?
Yeah, for ergonomics. But this thing, it took several months to actually build from the design process. It was kind of a trial and error thing, but we have an EMG active pickup in it. We also have K&K acoustic pickups in it, and it's just crazy. He can blend all the different sounds and just get anything from a banjo sound to a keyboard sound to a resonator sound.
Wow, so how many pickups does it have?
That actually has 4 different pickups in it.
Okay, so we're here with Andrew Winton at the Don't Fret booth. He hooked up with luthier Jack Dudley to do this Lucky 13 double neck slide, and he's going to tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, no, Jack found me on the internet, the magic of the internet, because Australia's so far away. And he said, look, I like your playing, and this is what I make. And when I saw some of his instruments, I thought, wow, they're very different. And I said, let's maybe design something together. And I wanted 2 guitars in one. I wanted a guitar that, because I play solo, I can play the bass parts and other parts, and a guitar that kind of does some different things, and this guitar sometimes sounds like a banjo, and it sounds like a keyboard, and it sounds like a guitar, and it's been an adventure.
Yeah, well, I was watching you play and listening yesterday. There's been a lot of people coming by because it's very unique. So I heard you talking to someone, you said it's like your dream instrument. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I think this is the only type of its kind in the world, and I'm the person that has to learn how to play it. Every time I touch it, it teaches me something. Yeah, so really it's such an original idea, and I had to start from scratch. All the rules of guitar went out the window.
As far as any kind of mass production, it's impossible to duplicate the same instrument itself, but I can simulate the same model.
So they're kind of works of art. They're your masterpieces.
Because they come from Cypress knees, every Cypress knee is different, so therefore every guitar is different.
Right, so maybe if they see something they like, they can ask for the same specs, but it might not turn out exactly the same.
No, it will be different, but it'll sound phenomenal. I haven't had a failure as far as sound yet. And anything, if there is a failure, I don't want to sound cocky by saying that, so I mean, if there is a failure, we start over and we'll do it again. Every guitar in itself is an experiment because you don't know particularly the way the piece of wood's going to act. There's so many variables in it. But I've developed a system, with the models that I do have, that I put the same specs in, that I can tell very early before actually building the guitar if it's going to be worth building or not.
Right. So do you want to talk a little bit about your reso knee as well? We talked a little bit about it yesterday. You're using the type of wood that's called a Cypress knee, so it's called the reso knee, and it's because it's kind of like stumpy like a knee, right?
Well, yeah, it's made from a Cypress knee, so I just came up with a corny name for it and hope it works. But
what made you decide to use cypress trees?
Well, me and my son actually were in a boat riding up the Sipsey River in West Alabama on a day trip, and a farmer had cut a path through cypress knees to get his cows to the water. And I've always tinkered with wood since I was a little kid, and so I threw a couple in the boat, and just kind of one thing led to another, and my brother wanted me to build him a lap steel. I cut the thing, and just a light bulb went off in my head.
Your brother's a lap steel player.
He's a guitar player. He's been playing guitar for 40 years or so, and he just wanted me to build him a lap steel because he knew I built my own basses, obviously. And
Okay, and so it has two kind of unique pickups in the Resonee as well, right?
right, we have the Fishman Nashville series on the Spider Bridge, which is a Beard Spider Bridge, a Quarterman cone, and I also have an active EMG in the body, which allows for blending and separation of the pickups, which just really gives it a cool quality.
Definitely cool. And so the headstock's really interesting because of how the strings are and everything. Is it hard to decide where to put those, or do you just kind of have your own design for the headstocks, or what?
Every headstock on my guitars is different. There again, it depends how the knee is shaped. I try to keep my strings in as straight a line as possible, and sometimes I have to do a little finagling with the shape, but each one has its own design. There's no real process to it.
They're really unique. You can spot them. They really stick out at NAMM. So thank you so much for sharing your story, and good luck with everything, and have fun at the show.
Oh, I will. Thank you very, very much.
This is Tessa Jeffers for PremierGuitar.com.